Okay now. Oh, should I turn that off, shouldn't I? Good evening and welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? If you can't hear me, then, well, don't really matter anyway. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. It's me, Jason. I am broadcasting tonight on YouTube, on Facebook, and for the first time on Twitch, which I originally went to because I thought it might be one of them places that makes you, Twitch. But it weren't, and it's a broadcasting thing. So I'm on it, and I'm having a look, and I've got no viewers on there so far. So I've got. Don't worry, we've got plenty. I only did it today. Anyway, how are you? How's your week been? How's the madness that has engulfed and enraged us? How's it working out for you? Because for me, it's I've got some interesting news this week, actually. Anyway, let's just say hello to some people in the chat room. South, here we go. There we go. Kevin Street's into the intro. Yep, we did that. Cheers, Kevin. That sort of made me remember. Weefy Man, Dave Iron. Sign for major storms in Portugal, according to Marco Serengeti. I hope you're okay there. Hi everyone. Newbie says, I'm sorry, RN After Dark is so late. Don't think I'll manage to stay awake. Wish you all a great night anyway. Well, thank you very much, Newbie, and we'll catch you on the on the replay as well. Anybody watching on the replay, which will be you can watch it any fucking time you want. That's what this is about. This is what this is about. It's just a cracker's world we live in. Now I've had some news this week. It's been weird, but I had a phone call from my hematologist. Now I don't know if if you understand. I suffer. Shall we say? I suffer. Don't suffer, but I have a complication in my blood called antiphospholipid syndrome. Now, in July, they tested for it again. I don't know why, but they decided they were going to test for it again. Did the 2 weeks apart test, and apparently I'm all clear. So, not got it anymore. This lifelong thing that, that we're going to be with me forever. I just haven't got it anymore, which has left me a little bit. Well, I don't really know what to think. I mean, what will just someone tells you you've got something for life, that this is probably what's going to kill you at some point, and then suddenly it's disappeared. So yeah, really weird, really weird, strange stuff. That's been going on. It is good news. I just don't know what to make of it. It's that I was looking last night, and nobody's ever got better at this. I don't know whether it's because they've been testing them, they've had it, and then it's gone away, and they've still been on they've not been tested again, but I've been tested again and I've not got it. I did ask the haematologist when she were on the phone and she were explaining it to me. I did ask if my leg were going to grow back, which she said no. But if it does, then she wanted off because we were going to be very wealthy. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, it sort of leaves me a little bit. I don't know what it does. It's left me a little bit feeling a little bit cheated. I know, that this thing just came along, give me a couple of heart attacks and wankered me fucking legs up, and then it's just disappeared. It's gone. So look, that's all I can say. I don't. I've got to have more tests. I've got to go down to a testing centre. I've got to go down to one of them COVID testing centres, but not for a COVID test. This is where they're doing all the blood tests now, which is why they've probably busied up, because they're doing all the blood tests at the yeah, knowing your luck, Jason, you'll get COVID next. Lol. Maybe a big misdiagnosis. Yeah, that's another thing as well. But apparently they're doing all these blood tests now. Anybody who needs a blood test, well, it's certainly in Sheffield. Instead of going to the hospital and having it, they're doing it down at the arena, which is strange, because it's that was supposed to be set up as a COVID testing centre. They certainly won't be shoving out up my nose, and I'll just say take some blood and that's it. And I'm not going to. I'm certainly not going to have a COVID test while I'm there, because don't wear a nappy, face nappy, Jace. Your jumper matches your eyes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Actually, let me have a look. Yeah, it does, I suppose. I've always been told I've got nice eyes. I never really got that. I don't know what. I don't really know what that means. But anyway, I'm going to get Uni on in a bit, because I did promise him that he could come on this show tonight, on the After Dark this week. He sent me a message and saying he likes to be able to talk. They've got forest fires and stuff going on out there, and of course the COVID as well. So and we'll get some other people on as well if you want to join in. I'm going to pop the invite, the link. I'm going to pop the link in. But first of all, I wanted to I put this together today, and I thought it were video clips. There we go. I'm going to upload this clip. Downloads. No. I can't remember what I did with it. Can't remember what I did with it. I can't remember what I did with it. But it was it's some exclusive news that you're going to get here on Raconteurs News. Exclusive. Don't ever tell me that the Richie Allen. And in fact, I meant to say this the other night. I meant to say this. A great interview, by the way, with Ben Gilroy on Tuesday night. But there was one particular point. When I was talking about sort of comparing him to Guy Ritchie, I was going to say, I'm not trying to blow smoke up your earth, so to make him feel at home, like we were on Richie Allen show. So Weefy Man, AD is he okay? He's all right. He's doing okay. He's I want to find this fucking thing, because it's really. AD's okay, as far as I know, anyway. I haven't spoken to him today, but apart from that, unless anything's happened between today and yesterday or the day before yesterday, then, AD is okay. Week 40, I'm told my region will start to offer antibody tests to put to the public after having done it for a while on care personnel. Oh, right, okay. That's interesting. New being, and that you've not fell asleep as well. That's great. Oh, where the fuck? I know I've got it. Just give me a second. This is downloads. I don't think it's going to be in there. Don't think it's going to be in there. No. Recent places. That's where it should be. COVID download. Right. Orange Hills. Right. Downloads. COVID pics. Let's have a look now. Oh God, what did I do here? I wish I'd remembered. I wish I'd remembered. Just talk between yourselves while you're doing that in the chat room. I hear Gateshead has been locked down as well, so apparently there's been an outbreak of nosebleeds. That's what that's going to be blamed on by the Brothers Grimm. What's its face? Oh, it might be that one. Download orange shows. No, just downloads. Just downloads. Try that one. Downloads. Here we go. Jason Holmes. Oh, desktop. That's where I put it in there. Fucking desktop. Right. This is the brand new minister for health. This took me all day to do this. This is a couple of seconds long, and it took me absolutely all fucking day. I had to do tons and tons of stuff, and then I found out that it was so much more easier to do it. I was trying to do it on my iPad, which now I'm going to get rid of because it's crap. I'm going to keep the Samsung. It worked on the. I got it to work on the Samsung. So anyway, here is an exclusive from Raconteurs News. So please take note of this.
Rule 17. Don't turn your back on bears, men you have wronged, or the dominant turkey during mating season. There are 40 rules all Shroot boys must learn before the age of 5. Learn your rules. You better learn your rules. If you don't, you'll be eaten in your sleep.
Did that work for you? That work for anybody? No? I thought it was great. It took me all day to do that, and it's not worked. Let me try it again.
Rule 17. Don't turn your back on bears, men you have wronged, or the dominant turkey during mating season. There are 40 rules.
That's not the one. We'll get rid of that. It's definitely not the one. Anyway, I think I fucked that up. So anyway, I'll pop the invite on if you want to come on. I'm just going to do an hour tonight. I think we might go over, but I'm going to stick the old there we go. Good evening to Gonad to Nomad. Good evening, Jason. I know to all. Just got notified. It's good that the notifications are coming through. But I'm still, I know we're being shadow banned. I know that, but I'm not going to moan about it because, well, why? What's point in moaning about it? Oh, they're shadow banning me. They're doing this. They're doing that. Oh, listen, Taylor, not laid on your bed, mate. All right. It's bad enough. It's bad. Listen, it's bad enough that you look like Deirdre Barlow, and nobody wants to see Deirdre Barlow in bed. Anyway, Taylor's coming on. He did ask me. He wants to get a little bit more screen time. He's doing his own thing as well, and he does it a lot. Oftentimes after our Tuesday show. So please support him. He's young, and he sometimes says some things that perhaps don't need saying, like saying too polite. you need to sort your alcohol out, live on thing, and that's just not, but you'll get it. You'll get it. I'm pretty certain that before I'm dead, good old Unit Taylor will be, he'll be decent. He'll have a good, decent enough show. And if there's anybody else as well, the things in there, anyone else wants to join us? Let's see if we've got anyone on Twitch yet. Ooh, we've got one watching on Twitch. Brilliant. Thank you very much to the Twitch. Thank you very much to the person on Twitch. And good evening to everyone on Facebook as well. Yeah, someone is watching on Twitch. No, not Taylor and his human flesh skin suit. So far, all we've got is his bed. Now, there we go. As we know, not much action happens there that doesn't need that doesn't go into a sock. So his bed that's he's got a couple of little things there. Evening at Raconteurs News. Thank you, Paula. I hope you're feeling okay. Another couple of people I want to say hello to. I want to say hello to Johnny Jam Shubble. He keeps doing he keeps writing the write-ups, and they're always good. So thanks. And I keep forgetting to fucking mention him. Good evening to Alistair Norman, who's watching on Facebook, and to Mandy Genre, who is also watching on Facebook, and we've probably shared this. Jace, Apple Charlotte says, Jace, uni wanks on air, I have proof. What do you have to say to that then, Taylor?
You caught me.
I didn't catch it. Apple Charlotte.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Apple, you caught me. Good job there.
Okay. So, how are you doing anyway, Taylor? What's it look like outside your window? Is it still a lot of smoke?
Well,
hang on just a second. Let me put you on big full. There we go. Okay. Is that a bit smoky? Is it a bit hazy there then?
It's the smoke has gone away a little bit, but it's it's become more hazy, but it's still pretty smoky. Like I live across the Puget Sound from some islands, and normally on a normal day, I can see the islands clearly from from my room. But right now, but for the last couple of weeks, I haven't been able to because of all the smoke, and it's been freaking getting. It's gotten a little bit better, but it's been really bad, like, because it smelled really horrible, and like I had to shut the windows. But because it's summertime, I get way too fucking hot when the windows are shut, so I end up just like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
I bet it stinks more when the window's closed than it does when it's open, doesn't it, as well? That's the
yeah, it does actually.
The thing as well. But anyway, so have you got fires going on around there, around Washington?
Yeah, I believe it's around Eastern Washington and in the California area, and apparently the entire west coast of America of the U.S. is currently having this issue. But I think it's more toward the west, so towards the Canadian border and towards the Pacific Ocean, I believe.
Right. Okay. West Coast, West Side. Is that how you do it, though? West Side.
Yeah, West Side.
I do that. I've done that, Anna. That's going to mean, doesn't it? Everyone's going to go, oh my God, he's just done that sign for Baphomet or whatever, the devil. I didn't really. It was just like that West Side thing. I'm not going to do it again. What's going on in the United States that we're not hearing about? What's happening in the cities and that? Is there a lot of unrest, civil unrest, social unrest?
In a way, I would say, yeah, sort of. depends on what you refer to as unrest. It's basically just you get a lot of people going at each other for not wearing masks, and you get the it's pretty much. I can't imagine it's really much different over there. Just like you get the mask wearers, and then they get on you. It's like if you get close to them, they get scared and they start. And like there was this one guy, because when I was walking the other day, and he got close to me. He was wearing a mask, and he fucking just ran to the other side of the street. And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah.
So it's really sad, and of course, and then you have the kids, like the parents who put the masks on the kids, and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I cannot stand seeing kids, like especially little kids, like ones that are in the strollers wearing the masks. It's like, and then they have these like special designs to try to make them look cute, like Hello Kitty ones. I'm like, it's not cute having a fucking nuzzle on your child.
No,
I struggle so much.
Face snappy.
Or
It's what they are, face
women's
snappy, not really.
yeah,
I mean, a lot of
people.
people.
Women's underwear as well. That's what it also looks like.
But a face nappy, a lot of people. There are a lot of people that should be wearing face nappies that talk a lot of shit, like Mark Steele does over here. And I know that and what's his face, Garrett. They've probably got them on now, and to cover the nose. They've probably got them like. If you imagine, let me find a pair of my underpants or something. I'm not in my bedroom. I could take my underpants off that I've got on now.
No, you're at the conference in the little boxes. I'm watching the stage. At least that's where it looks like you're at.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is there any? Have you seen all like that? Has there been anything like that? Any concerts going on?
Not that I know of. No, I don't like going to big big events like that. Freaking.
I don't do good. I don't do good in crowds, basically. I don't do well in crowds.
I've seen them on TV.
Oh yeah, on TV, yes. I have seen them, and then you get like the baseball not baseball, but football matches, because
football
is really big over here, like American football, and also soccer as well, where you call it football. You have the fucking stadiums that are empty, like. Yeah, like how are people comfortable with watching this? You have like the digital or like the little digital things in the stadiums making the crowd noises to simulate a real crowd.
Yeah, canned laughter.
Yeah, like on reality shows and stuff like that. It's sad, and then on top of that, you also have the you have like the announcers who are watching and talking about the game while or whatever, the commentators basically. They always, every fucking few minutes, they always they always splash in some bullshit about COVID or about tests or Black Lives Matter, and I'm just like, they're not even trying. Like you can't even watch sport. Like I don't watch sports. I've never been a fan of sports. But if I was, I would fucking drop that shit in the hat after hearing all this shit constantly on the TV.
Are they still doing that? Taking the knee before the game? Because But just answer that. I'll just answer that, and then I'll get on to my next point.
I haven't seen that personally, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do it.
Right.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
sorry, I can
it's not that nonsense. But I understand what you mean about the games where there's nobody there, and they've got, like, how they have canned laughter on shows and stuff like that. They've got sort of canned crowd noises now, to try to make it appear that there's people, empty stands, but there's this canned noise that they put on, which it's crap.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's absolute fucking dog. I mean, if anybody's ever seen, there's a TV show over here that I fucking despise, and I've never really watched it. I've only ever seen it when it's been on, and I've been somewhere and it's been on. Called The Big Bang Theory. I'm sure you're aware of that one.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I don't watch TV, so I haven't
But,
seen it.
you know, I mean, it's been massive for years. It's been massive, hasn't it? But if there are now, if you go on YouTube, if you find, if you search for Big Bang Theory without the canned laughter, you can see just how much shit it is. It's just with bad writing, terrible writing.
Same thing for pretty much any kind of reality show or sitcom. Have you ever heard of 2.5 Men?
Yes, of course. Yeah. The old Charlie Sheen did it, didn't it?
Yeah,
for a while.
Yeah, apparently he got sacked because he was doing something or something. I don't know, but try listening to that show without the fucking laughter in the background, and you just like anytime I hear that laughter, I just cringe so hard. I'm just like, really? So your show is that bad? You need to throw in fake laughter just to try to make it sound better? Like, come on. Like, it was filmed in front of a live studio audience. No, more like it was filmed in front of a bunch of speakers that are giving off a bunch of computerized laughs. You pre-recorded laughs.
Well, Charlotte sent me a video which I'm not going to watch. Yeah, but it says you were wanking and making noises. So you've been caught out there, pal. I don't know what you've been doing.
I think Apple just wants to see me wanking off. I think that's what she wants.
I can promise you she don't. Honestly, she don't. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Charlotte, are you? Are you a Uni fan? Mandy Jonas says, smashed up TV about 10 to 15 years ago, lol. Wish I'd recorded it now. Recall the show. Why don't you switch off your telly and go do something less boring instead, we were told. That's right. There used to be, when I were a kid, there used to be a TV show that were run by the BBC, and it were presented totally by kids, and it were called Why Don't You? And the idea was, why don't you? I think the intro was, why don't you go out, turn off your TV and go out and do something less boring instead. Now I can't imagine them doing it now.
No, just like you can't have that one show on. What was it called? The one that had the green beans for John Major. I forgot what it's called.
The what? The green beans?
Yeah. Oh, green. Green peas or whatever it was. For John Major. It started with an S, I think. What was that? I forgot what that show was called. Yeah. Green
John
peas.
Major.
Yeah. Prime Minister.
It's peas.
It was. It's an old show from like the 80s or whatever.
Oh, right. I don't know that one. It's peas.
Spitting Image.
Spitting Image. Yes, I remember Spitting Image. Never.
Yeah, you would never have a show like that on today.
Never met a nice South African, and that's not bloody surprising, man. Right, I'm desperate. You talk, and I'm desperate to find this video.
All right, new. Oh, okay. Sorry. New being asks if I actually no, it wasn't New being. It was Alice asking, do we have Black Lives Matter here? Yes, we do actually, and there are actually quite a few houses in my area that have the flags. Like they used to have the American flag or whatever other flags that I don't recognize up. The big one on top of their house. But now they replace them. But now like a few of them have replaced it with the Black Lives Matter flags. And anytime I walk past it, I fucking mentally facepalm and just, oh my god. And of course,
here in Sheffield, we had some. There was some police horses. So there's some police horses. I think there might have been a demonstration going on. But what they've done is that, like a zebra crossing. I don't know if you get them there, but there's like a white line and a dark line, and a white line and a dark line, and it's got two orange things on beacons. And in this country, if you walk into the road, you've got access, and the cars have to stop. Obviously, you don't just jump in front of a car, but if they see you stood at the edge, they have to stop and let you across. Now, in Sheffield, they've done one that is a rainbow, as in the gay. I don't know whether it's gay or NHS. Probably the same thing.
Probably both. Yeah, but same thing. It is the fucking same thing.
But there's a video, and the horses will not cross it. They won't cross it. They're scared. They want to go around it. They thought they were snakes, a Spanish chicken. Yeah, but that's the sort of thing we've got here. Is you've got everything's got to be gay. It's got to be gay. It's not got to be gay friendly or gay. It's just got to be gay. Everything has got to be gay, or rainbow, or they've ruined rainbows and fucking unicorns for everybody.
I fucking hate that shit. They ruined that. Like, I think, obviously rainbows are really nice to look at, but they ruined them with this stupid freaking LBGT nonsense, or whatever they call it. Whatever letters they want to use. And you can see that through TV shows as well. Like, there's a show called RWBY, or Ruby, and it's it was made by a guy named Monty, and he was and he passed away, and they got 3 seasons in. He passed away. The show was just a regular anime type show. After he passed away, the guys known as Rooster Teeth, the company that he was working with, they continued the show after that, and they started making the show all fucking homosexual and making all the females into lesbians and shit out of nowhere, with no given reason. You can tell there's some fucking agenda shit right there.
But we've got this. I can't remember what this advert's for. Now, I know everybody talks to me and says, "Listen, you need to get rid of your television, and you need to do this, and you need to do that." And yeah, I understand that. I always turn. I always try to watch things that are recorded so I can fast forward through any advertisements, or I watch things on demand. But when I am watching television, there is one particular. There's a couple. There's the Renault Clio one that I were moaning about the other Corsa. No, Vauxhall Corsa one I were moaning about the other day, where it's a lovely story, and these two girls end up kissing, and they end up kissing. It's a story about them growing up together and when they first met, and they end up kissing. Now, when they end up kissing, if they, in a normal advert, when a man kisses a woman, he'll just kiss her on lips, as a nice mwah, like that sort of thing, or mwah,
a normal kiss, basically, not making out,
not fucking tongues and fucking sending all this finger shit going on. You know what I mean? So, and it was completely pointless, because up until that point, it were a lovely story, and it made me want to buy a fucking Corsa. And then it just it was just completely unnecessary. Now here's another unnecessary one. They're talking about fitness, and there's a woman in a gym, and she's done with the gym stuff, and she's just put in a we call them knickers. I suppose you call them. What would you call them? You know what a lady wears under underwear. I think you call them underpants, don't you?
Underwear or panties or
knickers?
I don't.
Knickers?
I'm not really.
No?
Knee-high socks or I honestly don't know.
No. underwear, the things that they wear that go over the chuff and over the bum, and they're a bit frilly, and they've got knickers, underwear, the underwear that they wear on the bits.
A G-string?
What?
Is that what it's called?
Oh,
I'm not
God.
sure. Sorry, I don't know. I can't answer that.
Just normal women's underwear, a gash cover. Yes, thank you, Spanish chicken. So it's just normal women's underwear, right? And she's obviously in this gym dressing room, and as she's getting dressed, you can see that there's the Tampax string hanging out. Again, unnecessary. It's nothing to do with tampons or all like that. I think it's about empowering women.
Oh yeah,
a gusset muffle. Is that what you call them?
I've never heard that term before, but I'm assuming that must be. I don't know much about women's clothing because I've never had a girlfriend, so I haven't had that opportunity to get to know women as clothing. So
yeah, but surely half of the clothes in your wardrobe are women's clothing, especially underwear. I see you as a bit of a guy that goes out at middle of the night, and when someone's left the washing out, they take the underwear off the line and bring them back. You don't do that now? Mind you, you're a bit OCD as well, so I suppose touching women's underwear would be a bit of a no-no for you.
No, if I was to touch women's underwear, it would be the kind where you take it and then you put it up to your face and you smell it and you're like, oh yes, this is their smell.
Blazing Stars says, anime don't wear underwear.
Hey, that's not true. That's not true. They did, and as proof of that, I can show you a bajillion anime clips where they have the fancy shots. So yes, that's not true.
Nubian says, "What? Hang on, just Nubian says what tampon string hanging out in an underwear ad? It's not even an underwear ad. I think it's just about getting fit and NHS sort of stuff, or being an empowered woman. I think that's all it's about. It's nothing. She's a black woman, of course, and she's it's just gratuitous. She's got a white pair of briefs on, shall we call them, and there's the tampon strings hanging out of it. It's disgusting. You mean like the ones you nick off the washing line? Yeah, because I'm hopping edges me every night trying to nick women's underwear. now that I've not got antiphospholipid syndrome and my legs grown back.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say that's really nice to hear that from you, Jason. That's that you've been cured from. Well, not really. I don't know if it's cured is the right word, but basically that you don't have to deal with that shit anymore.
It's gone. I mean, talking about taking me off all medication by end of the year. I've got to have some tests in October.
They'll probably tell you that you need to still take the medication because you know how big pharma's like. They can't get away with you not taking the medications.
Alice has said it's the This Girl Can campaign. So, like saying, it's like an empowering women. Like they don't need empowering, right? Women should just be treated like everyone else, like all normal people, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the 1920s or whatever it was.
That's a joke. Women are normal people. I know that. It was a complete joke.
But what I'm saying is, this goes back to the 1920s or whatever, back when they convinced women to start smoking. I think that was really the start of it.
I think that was 50s, I think. Well, it might have been 20s, but that were Edward Bernays, weren't it?
Yeah. That was definitely 1920s, 1930s.
Blazing Stars has said women are normal, Jason. I was just joking. It was just a joke. Listen, I know women. I know the women. Look, for me, everyone's fucking same. As Adie would say, this world's for everybody, not just for men. Which is true. It's not just for a few, is it? It's not just for It's not just for a few. So what's on your mind then?
Well, Bernays family owns Netflix. Oh shit. Well, I didn't know that actually. That's interesting, because I know I haven't had Netflix in. Oh, I mean, we still own Netflix. I don't use it, but I mean, seriously, I don't understand why people like Netflix so much. At least I'm not sure how Netflix is over for where you guys are at, but here in America, Netflix is complete trash. They remove everything, fucking everything that is good. They take off and they replace it with some garbage that you never want to watch. Like, all you see now is Netflix originals. You hardly ever see anything that isn't an original from them.
This is true. Blazing Stars has said, will you ever have any ladies on, Jason? Well, recently I've had I can't remember her name, but that posh lady who was doing the course. I've had loads of ladies on. There's been loads.
Yeah.
Loads
Just
of
not
ladies
young
on.
ladies.
Paul has
Just not
been on
young
the
ladies.
show.
Just not young ladies. Like what?
Just
Like
not young
ladies
ladies.
my age.
Well,
What?
yeah, I know, but fucking hell.
Yeah, you should get some ladies on my age. It can be a secret way to help me get to score one.
Listen, mate, this is not Tinder for you, mate.
Fucking Tinder. Oh God.
This is not your own personal Tinder. I mean, I wonder how they're going on. Raconteurs News, please ask Taylor what new interesting stuff he's found since last.
I guess she cut herself off, but I watched that David Icke interview, the last one he had. Uni buys underwear from Jet. Oh, I see what you did there. Apple. But yeah, I watched that David Icke interview, the last one he had, and that's like 3.5 hours long, and it was actually a pretty good interview. He talked about some pretty interesting stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of David Icke because I personally think that he's got the whole. I mean, it's like you don't become that big without having some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Some kind of compromise going on.
Well, look, let me just give you listen. Let me just give you. David Icke's been at it for 25 years. Now, David Icke used to be He used to be a broadcaster on the BBC. He was a presenter, a sports presenter, and he was a goalkeeper as well, a footballer in his younger days. But yeah, I think it was arthritis or something that made him pack up. But he then went into the media and he worked for the BBC. Now, he was a well-respected presenter. I always remember him doing the World Snooker Championships, which is held here in Sheffield every year. He'd be the presenter of that when I was growing up. So, you know, the guy's been around for quite a while, and he did have what he called an awakening, and he went on a show called Wogan in this country. It was. Are you watching porn at the same time as being on here with me, or what?
What? What the fuck gave you that idea?
I can just hear something in the background. Some.
It's raining outside. That's what you hear.
Oh, rain! Of course, that sounds like voices. Anyway, he went on a chat show, and the guy who was doing the chat show at the time was the prime time. We're on at 7:00 on an evening, a chat show. Wogan, he went on there and he told everybody that he was the second coming of Christ.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
That's when it all started. So he's been doing it for 20 odd years.
Well, I will say this about him. He's definitely far better than Alex Jones.
Well, yeah, It's different to Alex Jones, though, isn't it? Alex Jones is different. Alex Jones is. Well, I've not watched Alex Jones for a long time. I was talking about it the other day, actually. Listening to him in 2008 when the crash came, the big financial crash in 2008. I remember listening to him just before then, and he'd have a guy on, Lindsay Williams, who used to come on and pretend that he were the vicar or it was the religious guy for the New World Order, and he used to say, "Oh, pencil and paper." I think I've got a show that, according to Alice, it's got to be your end, mate, because it's not mine.
Wait. Would you hear something?
Feedback is on your side, Jason. I don't think so, didn't it?
You're lagging as well, Jason. So I think it might be from your end.
Oh, I don't know why I'm lagging. I do not know why I'm lagging.
See, like right now, I can see your mouth like moving really slowly, like that. And I mean, not right now. It's fine. Right now, it's fine.
Yeah. Here we go. David, let me just read this. This is from Mandy Genre, who's on blah 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 Facebook, watching us on Facebook. David, lol. What did happen to the 24/7 shows? Was going to put all that raised money in for building camera equipment, etc., etc. It stopped. No refund. What the fuck raised? Yeah, that's it. He did that. He raised loads of money to start what he called the People's Voice. What we were going to call the People's Voice, and it did have a few people on it. I think Sonia Poulton were on it. Richie Allen were on it. So it's he did, but nobody knew where that money went. I mean, he got buildings, property. He rented buildings in London, which is the most expensive place in the world, I think, to rent buildings. Perhaps New York's a little bit is more expensive, but London is expensive. So he rented studios in London, and people raised over 350,000 quid, which would be about $500,000 to get it going. The People's Voice, but it didn't work. And yeah, as a made-up name backwards says Mark Winders was on People's Voice. So that just shows you.
There's too many people named Mark.
It didn't work, and questions were asked, and nobody really were giving any answers as to where the money's gone. But it's not done anything for his popularity, particularly over here. I think he's doing a gig tomorrow. I think so. That might be what I mean. What's the rules in America now? Have you got the 6-person rule?
We got something. We got something like that. We haven't really. Well. I mean, most of the time it's just the media constantly. Well, the thing is, we got Donald Trump, and we got the news constantly telling us we need to put in new restrictions and stuff. Like I swear, Joe Biden's whole campaign thing is about curing the coronavirus or whatever, and he's freaking. He's always talking about putting in new things to save the people, quote unquote, save the people and all that. And We haven't got any big restriction, I don't think, like you guys have got, because obviously Boris Johnson is much more in tune with the whole thing. But
I don't think Boris Johnson's got anything to do with it at all.
well, I mean, he's more of the he's a puppet, but it's like he's a willing puppet, basically.
Let me see if I can get this going.
Whereas Donald Trump seems more like that dude that we're all supposed to hate, so we can't go around saying stuff like oh, we need to have more restrictions in place and all that.
And that's not is that not happening? Because we've got this 6 people rule came in last week, where there can only be 6 people in a group. So, what the fucking hell did I put, the bastard?
Oh man, Mark Windows is back.
Mark Windows is back, is it?
Well, that's what it seems like. We got people in the chat talking about Mark Windows. So it's like that one dude all over again. He's asking, "Do you like Mark Windows?" And and then he says, "What's your views on Mark Windows?"
Well, my views on Mark Windows, everybody knows.
Yeah, I think we learned it the other night.
I'm not bothered about Mark Windows. I had where is, oh,
well,
there
I think that dude still owes you $100,000.
Bollocks. Which dude? Mark Windows.
Remember the guy? No, not Mark Windows. The guy you had on, the guy that came on here in the like a month ago, or whatever. He was saying that you had Mark Windows on. Remember?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't remember him. I can't remember who it was. What was his name?
80.
So, who are you voting for then? Trump or Biden?
I'm voting for my left nuts. I think that's a better presidential candidate.
Well, it's probably got more use, especially since it's got more use than Joe Biden. I mean, Joe Biden's just a creepy cunt, isn't he? There's obviously something wrong with him.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I like to see Jimmy Carter try running for president again. He's only had 1 term and he's still alive, so technically he could still try to run for president again.
Who's that?
Jimmy Carter.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I thought he was dead.
No, he's still alive. Is he old? Right now, he's taken the title of the oldest living post-president in U.S. history.
Who was that from? From Reagan?
No, from Herbert Hoover. He was the first one. He held that title first, and now Jimmy Carter surpassed it in 2012. Because he was president from 1997 to 1980, and now he's I don't even know how old he is, but he's still alive, and it's 2020 now.
Someone's just put in the chat room.
By the left nuts.
Not about your left nut. Where is it? Here we go. I didn't know that mentioning Mark Windows was so controversial. I think he's pretty clever personally. Look, the problem is with Mark Windows, with me, is it's not what he does or what he does. What the stuff he does is just that we don't get on. Me and him don't. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him, but he doesn't like me. Therefore, I don't like him, and he's always been an idiot. As far as I'm concerned, he's always been. It's been one of them. He's been part of the industrial complex. You know, the ones, the Marks. They always congregate together. Mark Steele, fucking John Wedger. You know, they're all on sucking each other's dicks and fucking, be all being nice to each other. Why don't we be honest for once and just fucking say it?
Yeah, you got a point. And it's just like with Richie Allen and David Icke, actually.
Well, I don't know about Richie Allen. I mean, Richie Allen got no against. I mean, I just I just like to have a a little pop at him sometimes. Well, that's no personal, isn't it? It's not to do with his work. He does his job. He's a mainstream radio presenter, and that's what he do. That's exactly what he's tried to drag into alternative media, and he's done quite a good job of it. Obviously, he had a leg up from David Icke. There's no doubt about that with the People's Voice and everything, because I'd never heard of Richie Allen before. Apparently, he was doing off. Apparently, he was doing radio in Spain, mainstream radio in Spain. So I don't know. And when I have a pop at Richie Allen, I'm not having a pop at what he does and everything. I'm just having a pop at him. Just the little synchronicities that he does. Like he says every single show, and I've not heard him for a long time, so I don't know if he still does this. But every single show, it was it's your Richie Allen show, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It's your Richie Allen show. It's not my fucking Richie Allen show. If I'm listening, it's not my Richie Allen show. I'm listening because I want to listen to Richie Allen. It's not mine. But by telling me it's mine, it makes it inclusive. You know what I mean? That's neuro-linguistic programming. That's mainstream media all over. I've got no problem with Richie Allen. It just I just parody him a little bit. That's all. Which is why I said that I was upset that I didn't manage to get the set to Ben Gilroy the other night. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your earth, but you're great. But you're great. You are great. You're terrific. Oh, we love you. Oh, fucking any time you want to come back on the fucking show. You not on the. He doesn't swear. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you come up. Come on. Go on. It's definitely feedback from you.
Hold on. I'll mute my mic and we'll see if that's.
Well, it's gonna be better, isn't it? 'Cause there's gonna be no feedback. Spanish Chicken says I quite like Richie Allen on Sundays. Lol. I've not listened to him for a long time. Listen. I'm not. I've got no fucking beef with you. I just don't listen to him for a long time. I got a little bit like it, I suppose like people will with us with this with me. People will get bored with what I'm saying, bored of what that I'm saying the same thing all the time, which is why I try not to say the fucking same thing. Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer. Not you, Uni. Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer, yeah, and didn't he have a psycho brother as well, or something like that? A brother that was Anyway, his brother got a lot. I remember stuff about his brother. I can't really I can't really say. But what I did want to do is I wanted to ask. Now, there's people listening in the chat room. There's people in the chat room now. I'm trying to line somebody up for a show, and I don't know how people will react to him because he's
Who?
A guy called Bernard O'Mahony, who was involved with people in this country may remember anyway, about 1993 or 4 or 5 even. There were a girl called Leah Betts who had an ecstasy pill that she'd bought in a club that he was a doorman on. She didn't take it in the club. But apparently she bought it from there. And then it was Essex Boys. That's the one, yeah. Chris O'Rourke. And then what happened was there was a major shooting where three guys who were in a Range Rover went to. I think the story is that they were going to go and try and nick from somebody. Strangely enough, a guy called Steele. But anyway, they went down this track. It was in December, so it was cold, and there were snow on this track. They went down this track, and they were all killed. 3 of them shot dead. Now this Bernard O'Mahony guy has written a few books on it and stuff like that. Now I'm trying to. I'm in conversation with him, trying to find out whether I can get him on show. And I'm just wondering if anybody would be interested in listening to what he's got to say, because what he has got to say is,
what will he say that you think that people won't like?
Well, just because there's a lot of controversy around this subject, and there's a lot of people that are still around that were still that are still. I mean, it's the most there have been more films made about this triple murder than anything else. There's more controversy about this triple murder than anything else. There's that's it. They had it coming. Pat Tate, Tony Tucker, and Craig Rolfe. Apparently, Pat Tate were the big bad one. Tony Tucker was a bodyguard to Nigel Benn, who was a boxer, a very successful boxer in Britain back in the day. And Craig Rolfe, I think, were just a young lad he were a young bloke, and he knew what he were in for. But there's so much things about it. So I didn't want to do is I didn't want to piss my listeners off by going, oh fucking hell, this cunt's fucking. Because there are discrepancies in everybody's fucking story, but he's the guy who seemed to be at the center, who got the center of the attention. He was never. I think he was suspected at one time, but only due to his reputation of shooting and killing these guys. And he's written a few books. I think there's been a few more films about World War II. Yeah, I'm talking about a single crime.
9/11.
Well, I mean, we're just a localized crime. I mean, 9/11 were a national thing. It made national world news. Mandy Gemma said, "Don't worry about your guests. Just bring them on. You're impartial. We get to conclude from seeing them. They get to talk. Need platforms to do that. New info. I'd watch and share. So listen, I'm going to keep trying that. He's a bit reluctant at the moment, and you can understand why. A lot of stuff happened to him afterwards. Mickey Steele and Jack Holmes protest their innocence to this day. Yeah, but it's funny though, isn't it, that there's only Jack Holmes with a W, who's got any sort of campaign. Mickey Steele, I think everybody agrees he should fucking rot in jail. As far as from what I can decipher, I've just been watching a huge thing. You need to bring up Kenny Noy then. Again, Kenneth Noy, I mean, there's so many facets to this. So many people, so many underground people. I mean, we're talking about Bernard O'Mahony. He was friends with Ronnie and Reggie Cray, or one of them anyway. Ronnie, I think. So it'd be interesting to get him on. That's what I thought, and I really want to. I really want to get him on. I think it'll be an interesting chat. Did they pull the trigger? Was it? He was a murderer. Yeah, he was a murderer, and he'd say that. He'd say that. He'd say that he did things that he weren't proud of, and he will say that. And this is the things that I want to press him on. I want to, because I've also been watching some stuff that sort of tries to make sense and tries to make it look like it wasn't Steele and Wombs in the way that we were told that that the official story was, and it's very compelling. It's very interesting, and I'd like to get him on, because there's some things that I'd like to challenge him on. Some things that he said that I'd like to just challenge him on. But you know what I mean? I might be a little bit frightened, but I think I'm all right up here in up here in Sheffield, because he's down in Essex, but he's not in Essex now. He's in Peterborough. He's in Peterborough, but yeah, I'm gonna try and get him on anyway.
I've personally never heard of this case before or these people, so this is all new to me.
Just Google Essex boys murder, and you'll find it. Okay, Essex. ESSEX. Boys murder.
Oh, say it again. EXXEX.
ESSEX.
Yeah.
Boys murder.
All right, let me put this in Google. Search this up.
There you
Ew,
go.
what the fuck? These images. Ew, gross.
Yeah, they're proper images. They're the images. I mean, this were an execution on a dark night on 6th of December. I can't remember what year it were. Might have been December 1995. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, it's interesting to get. I've been watching a lot of stuff. I've been getting all the information in my head, so that I could, because there were certain things I was watching, and then I thought to myself, "Oh, hang on a minute, that don't seem to fit in with what was said there and what was said there." But I mean, the whole thing was it was such a huge case, and it was also linked to the first time we'd had a young girl die from taking ecstasy, and she'd bought it in the club where O'Mahony was a bouncer. So there's no suggestion that he sold it to her, but I think he knew that there were dealers in there. But she died. She had an 18th birthday party. I think of her 18th birthday party, and she took one. She were at home, and Mum and Dad were there. She took one of the pills, and like he says, it were all put together so that it were, sensationalized. Like press do, they sensationalize things.
Do you think this might have been connected to the?
Drinking too much water, though. That's it. Yeah, Leah Betts is the name. So
do you think that this was connected to the? Sorry, I just wanted to ask: Do you think this is connected to the Clinton administration? Because there was a lot of shit going on during the Clinton years, and this is 1995, and that's the same year as the Oklahoma City bombing.
No. It were not to do with politics, not to do. It was just it's a case. It's an interesting case to have a look at, and to be able to talk to somebody who was involved in that case. There's a couple of things, right? First of all, I read his book. I bought his book at a train station. When I was, I think I was on my way to The Weakest Link. So I went in train station, and I was looking in W.H. Smith's, and I bought a book, his book. Emma Bates. Emma Bates died of too much water. That's interesting. That's interesting. Emma was his girlfriend.
The biggest case that I know of that the biggest case that I know of that was a singular case was the Lindbergh kidnapping murder that happened in the early 1930s. I'm not sure if you know about that one.
Yeah, the Lindbergh baby. Yeah, no, that's a Mandela effect subject, isn't it? Because as far as I'm concerned, when I first heard the story, the baby was never recovered.
Yeah, if I believe that it might. Yeah, I don't remember if the baby was recovered actually.
Well, officially, the baby was found dead. Officially, the baby was found dead, and somebody went to jail for it. Now, when I remember first reading about the Lindbergh baby, and if it happened in 1930s, then there's no way I were around, so I couldn't have heard a false rumor. But the first time I heard about it, I thought I was under the impression that the Lindbergh baby had disappeared and were never to be seen again. And now it seems that it's different. It's everything. Everything's different. Yeah, Spanish Chicken says gangland execution. That's talking about the
Wait.
Oh, he's gone to our listening.
Oh, sorry.
I need to grab something. Give me a second, okay?
Okay. I hope you're not grabbing what you were grabbing when Charlotte were.
No. Dear God, no.
Yeah, Spanish Chicken says gangland execution. Talking about the Essex boys. Someone says cops. They were stepping on toes, and someone said cops, but I don't get that. Me, I don't know if it were coppers. I don't think coppers would have. I don't think coppers would have done it. Only because they were really small fry compared to like the Krays, and they didn't take the Krays out, did they? And any other people, they've got these big gangs in London, and they've got these gangs in different parts of the country, and nobody would ever taken out by police. And so I think the police taking them out is unlikely, to say the least. Spanish Chicken says never rob a drug dealer bigger than you. Now it's in that field that I think personally they were low to that field, and what they were. That's what I can't understand is if they're going to go to that field to try to rob some cannabis that was supposedly being dropped out the plane by Flying Mick. I think that was his nickname, Mike Steele. His nickname was Flying Mick. So what he used to do is he'd go over to France, fill his light aircraft up, his single-engine Cessna, fly back, and then drop the cannabis into a field, and to be retrieved later. Were it set up? I don't know. I can't understand somebody going to, especially these guys, going to somewhere. They must have been going to meet somebody they trusted, because for them three to go and not be armed, because they weren't armed, and they were caught really off guard, because when the bodies were found, they'd still got the phones in their hand, so they didn't have much chance to turn round to do anything. And the guys that found them there were one guy at back had got head injuries. I think it was Tucker in back, weren't it? Tucker went back and he got injuries, gunshot wounds, and Tate and Rolfe, who were in the front, They were they according to the people that found them, they didn't have a face. The face were gone. So this was something. Yeah, someone trusted opened the gate. I don't know. I mean, the gate weren't open, were it? The gate down to the bottom. There's loads of stuff. There's loads of stuff on the internet. I've been watching it. I've also been watching people that have tried to pin it on Jasper. What is it? What it called? Jasper. This guy. But he was apparently he was a serial confessor, so he'd confess to everything, anything that he could. But
if you don't mind me asking, what's your...
To see the man who opened the gate to let the Land Rover in done it. I mean, the gate weren't opened. The gate wasn't opened. It were closed. The gate was closed. Let's see if we can find the pictures. The gate were closed.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the how do you pronounce that? The Chappaquiddick incident.
Who?
The Chappaquiddick incident in 1969 with Edward Kennedy, where apparently he was the official story is that he was intoxicated, and that he drove off of Martha's Vineyard, and the girl that was in the car with him drowned in the car, and he ran off, and it permanently ruined his reputation for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that were Ted Kennedy.
Yeah, Edward Kennedy, the youngest brother of the Kennedys.
Yeah, Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
I remember that. There were a film made about that. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got John Travolta in it.
Heard of it, never seen it. It was made after Ted Kennedy passed away. It was made like a couple of years ago.
Well, obviously Ted Kennedy weren't in it. I mean,
no,
I watched this film when I was in prison, which were in 1988. So I remember watching it when we had association, and so everyone came and sat outside, and obviously one at Screws had a video and videoed things, and he'd videoed that particular that particular. If anybody could tell me what that film
I didn't know it was
called.
a movie. I didn't even know there was a film made for it in 1988 or whatever, because I'm thinking of the movie that was made just a couple years ago. About the Chappaquiddick incident, basically shaming Edward Kennedy. I'm like, and the whole story to me just feels fishy, especially considering the area that it took place in. That it felt like that people like E. Howard Hunt might have been involved in that, because this is 1969. This was the year after Robert Kennedy was assassinated, and it feels like it's basically, to me, the whole thing felt like it's like, okay, we killed the two Kennedy brothers who wanted to run for president. Now we have the third one that wants to run for president. But if we kill him off too, it'll be too obvious. So so instead of killing him, let's ruin his reputation by making some phony story about him.
Maybe.
Does that make any sense?
Went the woman in car that went into a? I know when you said fishy, when the woman who went into lake in car.
Yeah, there was there was a woman in the car, and she supposedly drowned, and he apparently left her in the car or whatever, and that's what ruined his reputation for the rest of his life. He tried to run for president a few times after that, and it didn't work out for him because of that. The whole thing
what you're going to understand, Taylor, is that not everything is a conspiracy. I mean, Ted Kennedy had a reputation as a party bloke. He'd have prostitutes and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, that accident may well have happened. Well, it did happen, but it may well have happened without the intervention of forces. You've got to sort of like weigh up what's worth looking at and what's not worth looking at. You know, I think the Ted Kennedy thing, I think it were just something that happened because of his lifestyle. I think it was something that happened because of his lifestyle and stuff. So I don't think that you can't say everything. I mean, I watched some on JFK Jr. The other day, and that again, it were fishy. But the guy, if he were a pilot, if he weren't an experienced pilot, he shouldn't have been flying in them conditions. And he got his wife and his sister-in-law on as well. So I don't know. Sometimes people fake their own death to get away from it.
Yeah, trust me. That the JFK Jr. case was that. The JFK Jr. thing was pure murder. That was pure murder. There's no doubt about that in my mind. That JFK Jr. was murdered.
Okay, so
after that whole thing. There was this documentary I watched on the event a couple of years ago, and and there was just so much like going on, like in the initial hours of the reveal of the murder. They were giving off like precise information about the event, but then they retconned it like a day later, and it just had freaking conspiracy all over it. Like it's like the fact that the actual point of which they found that he sank into the water was not investigated until like days later or whatever. Oh yeah. Then the Q thing with JFK. You see, that's the thing about Q that just made me go about this. That made me go, yeah, Q is nonsense. When I heard about that JFK Jr. thing, I'm like, no. You heard about this, Jason? Where basically last year on the 4th of July, the Q said that JFK Jr. was going to pop out of nowhere, reveal he was alive, and call himself a Trump supporter, and like become as like something like that.
That's your first clue. There's your first clue. Someone telling you that something's going to happen and it don't. This Q stuff, they've been telling you things are going to happen. I don't know what Donald Trump's playing at, right? I don't know what his fucking agenda is or whatever. But this Q thing, I mean, it's just, for me.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
It's
utter nonsense. This Q stuff is nonsense.
He's off to do his washing up now. Spanish Chicken, yeah. Colin McRae, great rally driver, shit helicopter pilot. Yeah, it happens all the time. Things happen. What were he called? That Chelsea guy, Matthew Harding. His helicopter crashed, and there were a conspiracy theory that Ken Bates had made it happen. But these things, they can't be proven. And they're not even really worth trying to prove. It's not going to bring anybody back.
Well, I mean, you can say the same thing for...
And it's not going to bring anyone to justice as well, because the people that are doing these things, they're beyond justice. If there is a conspiracy, then the people that are involved in it are beyond justice. It's simple as that. You don't get... Look, they're all walking about streets. Fucking Blair, Bush, they're all still walking around. They were involved in conspiracies. They were involved. We can prove that. We know that. Everybody knows that. Tony Blair were an utter cunt, an utter twat. So would George Bush. Bush
definitely.
Said, who couldn't eat a fucking pretzel and have a beer at the same time. So without choking to death. So I mean, these masterminds or whatever. They're involved, no doubt they're involved, but they're involved at a level where they can't fuck it up. Apart from fucking Tony Blair, who apparently I heard from a source way fucking back that on 9/11, Tony Blair. In the fucking, I think they had it's when they first had the Cobra meetings or whatever. But anyway, we're at a cabinet meeting, And he went in and he fucking said, fucking hell, they've done it. I can't believe they've fucking done it. Because they were taught that it were going to happen. But he, being the little weedy cunt that fucking hangs about in fucking men's toilets, wanting to get his fucking dick wet, or he wants to get his dick fucking brown, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He went off. He crumpled into a fucking ball. It's like at Hillsborough, Peter Jackson, who were in charge, who set all this up. When he saw what were unfolding in front of him, he knew what were going to happen, but he didn't know the extent of what were going to happen. And perhaps he was thinking to himself, you know, this probably won't happen. You know, this probably won't go, and you know, it'll probably go off as we want. Be a couple of injuries, and then we'll be able to stick seats in everywhere. Because Bert Millerchip had a company that made plastic seats, and he was the chairman of the FA at the time. Either Bert Millerchip or fucking who's the other guy? Anyway.
There was also Princess Diana as well.
What happened with him, Peter Jackson, he knew what was going to happen, but once he realised the extent of what was going to happen and what was unfolding in front of him, and he was in the command box, he was under the table fucking blubbering like a fucking tosspot. Now, if any decent copper worth his fucking weight were in that box, would have dragged him out and said, "You fucking watch this. You fucking part of this. You fucking watch this." That's what they should say. You watch this. You fucking do. My Pet Goat upside down. He's reading My Pet Goat. George Bush upside down on fucking 9/11 in Florida. You know, and then they do this thing where they're getting the kids to read something that they'd written on the whiteboard. You can't say blackboard anymore because they didn't have
a blackboard
blackboards matter, so you can't write on them anymore. So they've got this whiteboard, and on it was perhaps not in this order, but kite must hit steel.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, have a look. Have a look.
What the fuck?
There's children even in children's school. Kite must hit steel. Not necessarily in that order, but and if anybody, kite hit steel, yeah. Kite hit steel. There you go. Fucking hell, kite. What's a kite? What the fucking pilots call their airliners, their aircraft? They call them kites. Hit steel on that day. It's there. It's right in front of you. And I think fucking Bush probably it's a wonder he didn't rise about fucking 6 inch as his pants filled up. Because he realised that, you know, well, this thing that he'd read, because they'd have kept him out of the loop, for fuck's sake. You're not having someone like Bush in the fucking loop, are you? You're not going to have him in the loop. But once he's there, and once this happens, he can't do anything. He knows that that's going to... Look what happened fucking JFK. JFK said, I'm going to fucking blow CIA into 1,000 pieces. What happened next? He blew his fucking head into 1,000 pieces. You know, you don't stick your head above parapet. You stay down. But you shit yourself. And that's why fucking Bush were never the same again. He was always a bumbling idiot, fucking thick as pig shit, fucking got his degree, whatever degrees he got because he'd fucking built a fucking wing on school or something, or his family had. But you know, we weren't. He's not the brightest president that America have. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the best president that's ever America's ever had is Chester A. Arthur.
Who?
Chester A. Arthur, and he were Chester A. Arthur. You don't know who Chester A. Arthur is?
No.
Fuck me. You're an American, and I'm telling you about one of your presidents. Chester Arthur, never elected. He was never elected. He was. He became president because he was vice president, and someone died. I think someone died in office or were assassinated.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but the same thing happened with Gerald Ford as well. He became president after Nixon resigned, and there's also Calvin Coolidge who became president after Harding passed away, and then you have Lyndon Johnson as well, who became president after JFK was killed. And
is that your mom?
No. It's just some idiots outside honking at each other. You always get those idiots on like the road who are just like, "Oh, honk the fucking horn because I'm so important." Like, oh my
it's your
God.
pizza, isn't it?
No, yeah, thank you.
I can't see you eating a pizza. You can't eat a pizza with a towel on your hand. You know that, don't you?
Oh, I find ways.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
By the way, All Star says, have you seen the Back to the Future Predicts 9/11 film on YouTube? Is it the one where the guy basically called? Yeah.
Yep, seen it. Twin Pines Mall becomes Single Pine Mall. He turns up at 9/11. Sorry, he turns up at 6:11 in the morning. Or 11, something like that.
11:06. 11:16. And
no, 1:16. It's 1:16 a.m. So if you turn up at 9/11, and then there's
also on top of that,
9/11. It's
on top of that, there's also another thing in the movie talking about 2015. And the thing is, in 2015, the same guy who made Back to the Future, he made a new movie about 9/11, about the Twin Towers. So that was another thing.
Zuckerberg, wasn't it? Wasn't it Zuckerberg who did?
Back to the Future.
What's his name? Not Zuckerberg. That's that Facebook. Fucking nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's probably going to get me kicked off Facebook, but who gives a fuck? I'm on Twitch now.
Use Discord. It's better.
Discord. All right. Yeah, but there's plenty about it. But I mean, if you look hard enough, you can probably find it. One or two's a coincidence, but when you've got more and more and more. When does coincidence turn into, not a coincidence?
Yeah.
When coincidence turn into conspiracy? What's the line?
Do you think that the Twin Towers? Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask. Do you think the Twin Towers were built in the first place specifically to be demolished? Was that intended all along?
No, I don't. But what you don't understand is. What is that the Twin Towers were full of asbestos. It was going to cost billions to remove and replace the asbestos in the Twin Towers. Silverstein then buys them 6 weeks before 9/11. Sorry, he owned World Trade Center 7, I think. He owned World Trade Center 7. And then he bought the rest of the World Trade Center complex. So from 1 to, I think there's 7, 1 to 7.
Yeah, 7. 7's the last one.
And then put out an insurance took out an insurance policy on them, specifically relating to terrorism, and then. When it happens, he tries to claim $32 billion pound payout on the World Trade Center complex because we're all fucked. I don't know if anybody's ever looked at all other World Trade Center, buildings.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't just the Twin Towers and 7.
He tried to claim it was two different insurance claims because there were two different events, two different planes. But he didn't get away with that. Somebody put in, he tried to get two insurance payouts, but he didn't. He went to court, but he only ever got 3.2 million quid. And then the guy's on TV and he's telling him, we're talking about World Trade Center 7, and he says, well, we've had such tragic loss of life. I told him to just pull it and pull it. Yeah, it's a fucking demolition term to blow a building up. Now, whether you know what an Easter egg is in a film, don't you?
Wait, say it again.
In a film, you know what an Easter egg is.
It's where they go and I think I know what you're talking about. Go ahead and explain. I think I know what you're talking about, though.
Well, it's where they place something that they don't expect people to notice, but it's pertaining to, the part of the film or whatever, or it's pertaining to something else. They're called Easter eggs. There's loads of them. Have a look on internet. Easter eggs in fucking in all sorts of films. Now, I think this is what we're getting. We're getting Easter eggs. When Larry Silverstein says, oh yeah, well, we said pull it. I mean, there's fucking no way on this earth that anybody can say that was anything other than a fucking controlled demolition. Even the controlled demolition guy, that Dutch guy. Somebody will tell me his name in chat room. And what they did is they showed him World Trade Center 7 falling down, didn't tell him anything about it, and he said it's controlled demolition. And they said, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Absolutely." And he said, that were on 9/11, that was the same day. And he said, that was the same day? Yeah. And he said, "Are you sure that was the same day?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm sure that was the same day." He says, "Well, they worked really hard that day then." So, all these little, and that guy ended up getting killed in a road accident, run off a road.
Of course,
Holland. But
just
they probably get on joints and stuff.
Yeah, it's like coincidence, right? Like, oh, this guy is coming out about them, that's able to shed some light on 9/11. Just so happens to die. Coincidence. And there's also a lot of the 9/11 whistleblowers who have been killed over the years. Like what was his name? Jerry Hemmings or whatever. And the black guy that was in World Trade Center 7, and he yeah. He's he was he was hailed as a hero by the Bush administration after 9/11, and then of course he was shunned by the media after he started coming out saying that the real story is not what they said, and then he was killed after it was just after he got interviewed by Loose Change, the guys that did Loose Change. He was murdered.
Again, Loose Change, a fucking Easter egg. Do you know, I was involved at that time. I was involved with Loose Change. The second edition, I was involved in that, the making of that. I did some research and I was involved in the making of that. Now, that was, again, it was another set of Easter eggs. Because what happened is Loose Change became this fucking phenomenon. It were even in the UK, there's a newspaper called the Daily Mail that people refer to as the Daily Fail because it's a fucking right wing. It's a load of bollock. It's a newspaper.
I can believe it.
But yeah. They did a double page spread on Loose Change. It's a fucking Easter egg. It's there. They did it. So that became then the biggest thing on the internet, right? And all the fucking people, Dylan, Corey, and Jason. I mean, Jason Burmas is still at it. I don't know where Dylan is. He's probably fucking smoking fucking weed under a bit of tarpaulin in fucking I don't know, downtown fucking Detroit or whatever, because he was just a fucking piece of shit. And Corey wrote, and Corey was supposed to be in art. He was supposed to have got done for desertion, and he was, these are all things. These are all like little bits that they chuck to you so that you divert. Hang on a minute, Corey Rowe's been fucking arrested for being absent without leave. He's not even in the army anymore. He's a fucking reservist. Jason Bumass. He's Jason Burmas. Fucking, he went on, did his stuff with what's his face? Alex Jones, became a roving reporter for Alex Jones. Yeah, look, all these fuckers, these fucking idiots. God, there was this bloke. God, and he called himself. Oh God, you'll know his real name, but he called himself at that time. He called himself. What's the kid's name in fucking Terminator?
John Connor.
Yeah, right. So he called himself John Connor. So John Connor all fucking way through. Danny, that's it. Spanish chicken. Danny Joenko thought he was Polish. No, he's not. He was Dutch. He was Dutch, mate. And then suddenly it were right. We're going to reveal the real name of fucking what's his name? By the way, right before 9/11 and before he became involved in 9/11, we're going around his fucking college campus talking to everybody about how fucking faggots should be dead and how fucking queers and fucking don't you hate faggots and all that sort of. It were a bit. It were almost as if we were that Westboro church thing, that Westboro church, where they all stand there with fucking God hates fags, God hates fags. He was doing videos like that, and then they all suddenly disappeared from internet as soon as his real name came out. Well, his real name weren't his fucking real name. Nobody knows that to this day, but they all still know him by the name, the name that he gave himself. And somebody, come on, the thing was back then it were forums, and the forum, Westboro Baptist Church. Thank you, Apple. Yeah, it were like one of them. That's what he was doing. And if you look deep enough, you will find it. And he's going up and he's interviewing other students, and he's saying, "Don't you hate fags? Don't you hate faggots? Don't you hate queers? And all this sort of thing." Real fucking piece of shit type bloke. But then he becomes something he changes his name, and he becomes John Connor. Ooh, we all remember Terminator and John Connor and all this. He becomes John
the good
Connor,
version of Terminator.
Exactly. He becomes John Connor, and then he's doing all this work. He's doing all this stuff about 9/11 and all this, and he ended up on fucking thingy. And I remember it because back then it were fucking forums, and all they ever did, right? The first ever loose change forum were fucking massive. They were absolutely fucking massive. And when you've got a forum that's like that, like how else, it's not like social media. You see everything that everybody posts. So what they do is it got massive, the first loose change forum. And so what did they do? What did Dylan Avery decide to do? Shut the fucker down and start another one. And then it did that about 4 times until people were sick of being fucking going from forum to forum to forum and having to log on and register and do all this shit. It's all Easter eggs. And then fucking what's his face? Fucking John Connor says, his name's Mark Dice. I'm sure you've heard of Mark Dice. Well, people in chat room will have heard of fucking Mark Dice, but that's what he said his name were. Mark Dice. John Connor revealed as Mark Dice. And then he starts doing fucking stuff, and he's gone. And I noticed Jason Burmis has just come back. Well, he came back a bit ago. He's back on fucking scene. It's all distraction. The whole fucking lot of it. And back then, you get fucking caught in it. You get caught in it. And somebody will tell you that they need you to do something. Yes, Mark Dice is a twat. It's not even his real fucking name. It's not even his real name. You know what I did? But people were fawning over him. I set up a fucking a username, and I called myself Dark Mice. Right?
Dark Mice.
Called myself Dark Mice. And because people didn't notice it, they were sending me all messages. Oh, sir. Oh, welcome, sir. Welcome, sir, to blah, blah. It's nice to do, sir. And all the fucking load of bollocks. He goes on and does fucking stuff with, what's his face? Fucking, who's that silly cunt? Fucking, we're talking about Alex Jones. Yeah, Uni's gone for a wank again. It's just all, it's all put there. It's all, you've got to get away from the fucking the disinformation and get towards the actual information. And do you know what? The only actual information that you can say, I know for a fucking fact, is what you've seen with your own fucking eyes, or you've heard with your own ears, or you've fucking farted into with your own arse. That's the only thing that you know. That's it. It's all crap. Fucking last man out. Last man out. Fucking William Rodriguez. Yeah, William Rodriguez. I got arrested for fucking threatening some cunt on internet. I got fucking Rother police station. Took me there. 40 minutes I were in there. 40 minutes. That's it. You imagine being arrested and it lasting 40 minutes and you're out at door. Does not fucking happen. There's all sorts of different shit. I get outside. Fucking William Rodriguez is waiting there for me. And he's telling me he wants to use this situation that somebody has had me fucking locked up. Somebody from across fucking in America has had me fucking locked up. You know, and he's saying we can use this. And I'm like, fucking Jesus. That whatever you see and hear, everything else, it's just, believe it or not, it don't matter. Fucking don't matter. If you've seen it with your own eyes, you've heard it with your own ears, or you've farted it into it with your own arse, if you fucking held its head down and on fucking settee and got your head arse and farted in the face, that's the only fucking thing that you can really trust. The rest you've got to fucking work your way through. And that includes a lot of them. Fucking Ike, fucking John Wedger. Oh, I had, you know what, Webby. And this is no disrespect to Webby. There's no disrespect to Webby, but this, you know, Webby were defending, what's his face? Fucking him. That cunt who always looks like a fucking cry. Wedger, defending Wedger.
Yeah, John Wedger.
Yeah, we had a bit of a set too. And that's why I like to talk to people. I like to be able to see them. I like to be able to ask them questions. I like to be able to say, you know, is this fucking... I like to be able to ask. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm going through all the questions on the Neil Sanders show, and I'm writing them all down, and I'm having Neil Sanders back on, and he's going to answer the lot of them. He's told me, so I'm going to go through it, because the live chats, I can watch the show, the live chat I'll go through, I'll stop it whenever there's a question, or someone's put something that perhaps it needs his attention, and I'm going to fucking get him on. He's going to come on. He's agreed to come on, and I'm going to ask him them questions, and he's going to answer them. And anybody who wants to ask him a question, that will also be happening as well. You'll be able to ask him a question. So, you know...
I mean, you could always have me be the co-host, so that way that I can look through the chat while you talk to Neil Sanders, so that way you can pay attention to, basically, so that I'll be the one paying attention to the chat, so you don't have to get distracted, because I know how you are with like keeping up with the chat and talking at the same time. It can be.
Well, I'm gonna go through the last show, and look at all the questions, and I'm gonna write them all down. I'm gonna ask them about them all, every single one. I'm going to go through every single one and tell him and ask him, you know, I'm just, you fucking, it's so, the waters are so muddy. Apple Charlotte says she'll be your smart secretary. And she's far better looking than you, Taylor. I know that.
Well, yeah, of course she is. She's a female. Of course she's going to look better than me.
Well, I don't know. I've seen some fucking females that don't look better than you. Fucking Caitlyn Jenner, for one. I'd sooner rather wake up in bed with you in the morning than fucking Caitlyn Jenner.
Or Selena Dion as well. Or
hey, that's what we should do in the chat room. Put in the chat room who you'd rather wake up in the morning next. Who would you rather that you'd wake up next to Taylor rather than that person? You know, have a bit of fun with that. You know,
would you rather wake up next to me or Alex Jones?
Fucking what's her name? Oh God,
Kate Winslet.
Oh,
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. I'd rather fucking wake up with her than you. At least you might smell her, right?
Hey, I smell good. I take showers every day. I smell perfect.
Listen, I've seen your fucking bedroom. I don't believe you.
Oh, come on, man. Come on over to my house and come smell it then and see what else.
Come on over to my place. Hey, you. I'm not that silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Weefy Man said the only person he'd rather wake up in bed, I don't know, Diane Abbott, Hillary, or Hi Larry.
Carrie Fisher.
What do you reckon about? What do you reckon about? What's his face? Fucking Michael Obama.
Obama's son.
No, Obama's fucking husband.
What?
Have you not noticed that Michelle Obama's a bloke?
Oh, you said Michelle Obama. I thought you meant somebody else. Oh,
yeah, really, okay. Michael.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I mean, it's just like with the Clintons and the fucking Gates and the Gateses. You can easily look at them and say that's not a fucking woman. It's like when I look at when I look at JFK's wife, I can tell, yeah, that's a woman right there. But then when I look at people like Clinton, like Hillary, or fucking Michelle Obama, I'm just like, this ain't, or Gates' wife. These don't even look like fucking women.
No, they don't, do they? No, I agree with you. And Bill Gates' dad's just farted, hasn't he?
He died?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that actually. Usually
Well,
something
I
like that
also-
would be all over social media.
I think he tried vaccine. He says, "Oh, come over here." They were probably pissed up one Sunday afternoon after Sunday dinner, all fucking about in lounge, half falling asleep, and they thought, let's try this vaccine on Grandad. Shoved it in him, and he fucking did. But of course, they're immune from any prosecution because vaccine companies are, and Bill Gates is a vaccine company. Fucking Bill Gates. I mean, why do we hold this piece of shit in such high esteem? I'm not saying us, but people do. They hold him in high esteem because he's got fucking money. He's got trinkets. He's got, when he talks. Oh God, I'm gonna have to work on it, but I will get it. I will get it right. But he says
And there's also what's his
fucking
name.
shit.
There's also what's his name as well. His boyfriend from the World Health Organization. I forget his name. The one that they always have on in America. I forget his name. Freaking. He was part of the Trump administration. What the fuck was his name? Whatever. Yeah. They're fucking Scrooges. They're fucking evil pieces of shit. And the thing about Gates is he probably doesn't even know how to operate a computer himself. It's just like with the British royal family. They say fucking they think that they're top shit, but you can tell that they don't even know how to tie their own shoes probably. By the way,
Go on.
Apparently the Queen has been delisted as the figurehead for a part of Britain. I forget what part of Britain it was, but
it's part of the Commonwealth. It's part of the Commonwealth. It's fuck all to do with us, really. It's Barbados and delisted. That is such an American expression. I'm sorry, sir. Someone rings up. Hello there. Is that? Hang on, I've got a phone here. I can do that without doing that. Hello there. Is that Barbados? Yes, it is, sir. Oh, great. Can I talk to your head of state, the Queen? Oh, no, man. We don't have her anymore. She's gone. She's been delisted. Fucking quick. Queen's gone. I don't. They're not coming back. Whatever happens at the end of this, I promise you, there'll be no fucking royal family. There'll be no royal family. They're trying to fucking gather the trinkets. They're trying to make sure that fucking Buckingham Palace don't become a fucking a homeless fucking place. How many homeless people get Buckingham Palace? Oh, the London Inn. There you go, fucking sorted. Them cunts fucking, what, 5 of them in there at once. There's more staff. They've probably got more staff. God, don't get me started on them. Let's fucking get back to Americans that I hate. Rather than Germans.
Fucking George Bush is probably a big one. Oh yeah, Fauci. That's the name I was thinking of. And Four-Wheeled Peas in here says that Gates and Fauci, great grandfathers of the present grandchildren. John Hopkins were involved with Spanish flu and did same routine. I haven't heard about that. I don't really know anything about the Spanish flu. I haven't really looked into that whole thing. All I know is that it probably had something to do with vaccine. All I know is that something to do with vaccines because apparently there was a lot of vaccines going on around the time. Like this was like the start of the vaccine generation. It was around the end of World War One.
Some ridiculizer as put royals, etc., are just characters in the pantomime. Oh no, they're not. You won't get that. What
about Prince Harry?
What about him?
Do you think that he do you think he's a genuine bloke, or do you think he's just as nutted as the rest of them? Because he does seem he did pull out, and he does seem to be going against the royal family.
I don't know. He's just turned the age. I think Is it him or is it no? He's just turned the age his mother was when she died. So that's funny. It's not funny, but it's weird that he decides to fuck royal family off. In fact, he's not even one of them. He's fucking Hewitts. He's not even one of them. Diana. She were obviously fucking murdered.
Yeah, it's part of the Spencer.
I really hope, for her sake, that she weren't killed, and she just decided to fuck off. Her and fucking Dildo or whatever his fucking name were. Dildo
Prince
Fire.
Charles.
No, Dildo Fire who was supposedly killed in crash with.
I mean, there are those who say that Diana's still alive, but
they'll say that about you could say that about can't you? You could say anybody's still alive. You could say George Michael's still alive. He just decided he weren't fucking. He weren't having. He weren't having any more. He didn't like it.
it's true. Same with Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein just got a free pass. He went to live in Israel. There you go. Thank you very much for taking us out to your island and everything, so that we could abuse children.
Yeah, he's just like Jimmy Savile. He's our Jimmy Savile, basically.
He's your Jimmy Savile, yeah, and Jimmy Savile's yours as well.
I don't think I want Jimmy Savile.
Had American parents.
And then on top of that, you also it's funny how that worked because Jimmy Savile was big with the royal family, and then you have Jeffrey Epstein who was big with Trump, the Clintons, Obama, and whoever else. So it's like, interesting how both of these leading pedophile guys who were done in seem to be linked to the highest order staff in their respective countries. It's pretty interesting how that works. And it's the same thing with George Floyd. I personally don't think he's dead. That whole thing to me was just a load of nonsense. Like,
George Floyd, right? It's not like they've gone and killed a fucking altar boy, is it? He were a criminal. He were a career criminal. He'd held fucking guns to old women's heads and fucking robbed them and done shit like that. And everyone takes, not everybody. Sorry, I hate to include everybody when it certainly isn't. But they take a fucking knee for it. Black Lives Matter. They're rioting. Black people are rioting and destroying fucking businesses that have been built up by other black people over the years, people that have wanted to better themselves. These, I know what you call mom and pop stores and what have you, over there in America. Yeah, and they've built up the businesses, and then because George Floyd, some fucking criminal, has been fucking killed, they start fucking. It's because it's all over the news. They start fucking destroying themselves. That's what they're doing. They're destroying themselves. It makes no fucking sense. And then there's that small boy, that young boy, white boy, who was shot in the head by a neighbour who was a black guy for walking across his fucking lawn. And this boy were more than 5. What the fuck? What the fucking hell is fucking wrong with humanity? What the fuck is wrong with humanity when a piece of shit, and that's what I will call him, because George Floyd were a fucking piece of shit, when his life is determining that the people that have got the same colour skin as him have, their lives matter more than anybody else's coloured skin, no matter what fucking colour your skin is.
Yeah.
If you're not black, it's like, you don't fucking matter. That's what they're trying to do. They fucking, boom, straight that line. Everybody hates each other. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, it's like, what happens? Like, what about all those motherfucking people in the Middle East who get killed every day because of fucking fake war, because of these war on terror and all that nonsense? nonsense. Like, should we start? Like, how come people don't start a movement over them? What about the million people who protested the Iraq War?
That's the thing, though. People do start movements like that, to stop wars and stuff, but it don't get anywhere because it don't get any coverage in media. And people the internet gave us a brief window, and I mean a really brief. What that? That his mum just shout, Taylor, wait till your father gets. Do you remember that one? Till your father gets. Wait till your father gets home.
No, don't worry. I'm just fixing my sheet. I fucking hate sheets, man. They always come undone like whenever you sit down.
All these good people.
Yeah. What do you think about what Four said in the chat? That none of these people are ever killed. It's just that they make them look like they're killed.
We worship. Shit.
Worshiping. Yeah.
Wank.
Yeah, and then you have what's it called? I don't know. It's just because there's another thing I actually read as well. It's a bit unrelated, but the idea.
Oh man, I've just had my first comment from that. What's it called? That Pilsy comment. You can't sit still long enough. Taylor, talking about.
What?
You've got to sit still. I haven't moved, have I? I haven't moved about, pushing pillars about and everything.
Sorry.
I'm just sat here patiently in my pushchair talking shit.
Apple, why do you
I'm just saying, I've just had my first comment from Twitch, right? And it's from somebody called Pills in Ibiza. And it says, it's good to see Dumb and Dumber having a conversation.
What the fuck? Dumb and Dumber. I mean, I guess you can call me dumb if you want. I mean, I don't look at myself as the smartest guy in town.
Oh God, who cares what fucking anybody thinks, mate? Especially somebody who fucking watches us on Twitch. I mean, they thought Twitch, because when I saw Twitch, I thought, that might be for someone who's got a bit of a Twitch going on. So
yeah, and Twitch is more for gamers than anything.
Well, let's just say this. Let's just say this to our Twitch contributor. There are more people now masturbating, listening to us, than will ever masturbate listening to you. Pills in Ibiza. But thanks for the information. Thanks for the interaction. I'm going to go. We've done 2 hours.
Yes.
We've done 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. I do want to ask before we go though, what do you think about the idea that the whole, about the asbestos in the towers for the Twin Towers? Do you think that was actually planned from the very start, that the whole asbestos thing was to poison people, and that's the reason why they used to use that to build buildings?
No. I think what they did is, right, they went, the project for a new American century said, which were written a year before the PNAC document, Project for a New American Century, just in case you don't know, Pills in Ibiza. I think that had, I think what happened there is they were all saying, well, what can we do? And then Larry Silverstein put his hand up and went, I've got some buildings that have got asbestos covered in it, and I'm not going to be able to keep licenses to keep them open soon. So why don't we just fucking knock them down, and then we can blame it on towel heads, and we can start a war then and go and destroy everything and fucking get what the fuck we want. But by the way, towel heads is not my way. I'm talking about I'm talking how they would talk. So before all start going on. In fact, you know what? I hardly get any fucking shit from anybody, apart from Pills and Beefer. But at least he's listening.
I mean, it's the same thing with the Japanese in World War II, how they would refer to them as Japs. Basically, their version of the N-word, essentially, for the Japanese.
Well, they called him Charlie, didn't they?
Call them what?
Oh no, that were Vietnam, weren't it?
Yeah,
No, they called them
Vietnam.
Nips. They called them Nips. They didn't call them Japs. They called them Nips. They called them Nips because the Japanese for Japan is Nippon, so they called them Nips.
Yeah,
Right.
And well, let's be honest here. Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney were the real heads of the Bush administration, not fucking Bush. Well,
it went higher than that. They were all just fucking foot soldiers. They were all just people that they were. What's the word? They were people. What do they call them? Somebody who arranges something. An arranger. They were an arranger. Anyway, 2 hours and 11 minutes. Thanks everyone for watching. Cheers, Taylor, for coming on.
Thank you, and thank you again for having me on. I really
in future, honestly, mate. Listen, I'm only giving you, but I'm not having a go. You know I'm not having a go. But try and sit still. Try not to get up. Try not to show your hands that are covered like this in fucking God knows how many fucking sleeves and facilitators. Thank you, Charlotte. I knew I'd get a good fucking. I knew somebody would tell me. Yeah, they're all facilitators. The real people, you don't know. You don't ever get to know anyway. You know if you look hard enough, but you don't ever get to know. Anyway, I'll be back on Tuesday. Thanks to Taylor for joining me tonight. Taylor, you've been great. It's I know I take piss out of you quite a lot, but I really do value your input. I value your input, and it's nice to have you there. And I see you as a bit of a protege. You know what I mean? A bit of a protege, but one that I don't talk to very often, only on this show.
Yeah.
All right, mate. And thanks to everyone in the chat room. Thanks to everyone who's listened to us on YouTube, who's listened to us on Facebook. Alistair Norman, good guy, shows he says, see you next time. Cheers, Alistair. Thanks, Apple. Good crack, guys, she says. And we shall see you all on Tuesday. I don't know what's going to happen yet. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be next week, but I want to get. I'm definitely interested in getting Bernard O'Mahony on, and then I'll get the other side as well, because I know that there are a number of people that are doing the other side and trying to put different people forward for that crime. But from what I've seen, they seem to be all over the place, and their evidence doesn't seem anywhere near as good as Bernie's. So anyway,
Bernie Sanders.
No. Bernard O'Mahony.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you, man.
Bernie Sanders. No, we don't want him. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday. Take it easy. Say goodbye, Taylor.
I also want to say one more thing. Apple, modern Japanese culture is awesome. You're just a hater.
No. There's no haters here. Dislike. Yeah, do you know that's the funny thing, isn't it? If someone dislikes something that you like, particularly your generation, they call them haters. Oh, no, I just dislike what you like. That's different, different generation. Anyway, take it easy. See you soon, everybody. Love you.